Welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. It is 12th of April 2018. Just a few quick things. First, I guess an update on the Syria crisis, the Russia versus the US. Same old story. So, US President Donald Trump tweeted, something about I don't know if it was to Russia or to Syria, I don't know if he specified, but I think it was Russia, and he was saying like, watch out for our missiles, our smart missiles, our new missiles. And like a child, this is supposed to be, I don't even want to say these words, but the most powerful man on the planet, as if anyone is more powerful than anyone else, but that is the perceived image of the President of America, because it is the nuclear power with the most weapons, I don't know if they've got the most money, but they don't even have the biggest army, so I'm not sure why they are the most powerful. But that's the way we see them in the West, isn't it? And that's what their leader is doing, is tweeting threats. And then when they were interviewing Donald Trump's spokesperson, I can't remember her name, she repeated the answer a million times, because everyone obviously is going to ask about, does this mean that Donald Trump is ready to launch missiles into Syria without, I don't know, I assume he has to get Congress's permission before he does so, but and she was saying that, oh no, that's just one of the options, there's many options that the President has, and nothing's been decided, no time frame. Okay, and then they kept asking, well, wait a minute, that Donald Trump just tweeted that get ready for missiles. He didn't say, I'm going to have this different things that I may be doing. He says get ready for missiles. That means get ready for missiles. But they use newspeak. They use words to, they're basically, they're not lying. They're just misleading people by saying, by rewriting what he's saying, by saying that no, it doesn't mean that. What do you mean it doesn't mean that? Words don't mean that. So even though he wrote what he meant, it doesn't mean that, because you're telling us it doesn't mean that. It means now that this is just one of his options, and he's just putting it out there. Putting it out there on Twitter. On Twitter, the President of the United States. What a time that we live in. Will we ever live in a time more insane than this? So obviously, this all started from Salisbury, which still hasn't been identified as being Russia, but yet, even before the evidence was even done, ambassadors from all countries around the world linked with Russia have been evacuated, told to leave. They all followed suit like sheep. And now suddenly we may be going into Syria. Even Theresa May today is organising a war cabinet. Yes, the war cabinet. So our reasoning is obviously because someone used, allegedly, some nerve gas. I'm sounding like a news report journalist. No facts in there at all. We're going to bomb people. But it was interesting on Sky News, I heard, they were talking through the newspapers, there was this lady, I don't know her name, but she was actually saying basically what I was saying before, that why do we think that one weapon is less evil than the other, or less painful? They're all about killing. So it's a bit like, in a schoolyard, someone punches someone, so instead we're going to stab them in retaliation for them punching us. Yeah, great. The other thing I was watching on Sheeps and Neeps channel, a new channel, live, was must-watch videos, and it was about, it was just a YouTube channel, Danny Shine, a social experimentalist. Very interesting. It's called Everything Is Okay, and he was testing bylaws. There's a bylaw in Westminster where if you are deemed to be causing an annoyance, and this can be through megaphone, through playing music, etc., and someone feels it would make an annoyance, then you can be charged £500. Now, he took it to court, he didn't pay that £500, and the council person was found to be incompetent, and they got chucked out. But the judge initially wanted to look at changing, questioning the law. But in the end, they didn't do that, probably because they want to keep the money, isn't it? They don't care that these bylaws don't make sense, or they go against our own freedoms, is just because that they can get 500 out of the people that will just pay because they're too afraid. Because like when I was watching this Danny Shine doing these things, I did actually feel sort of like, oh, I don't want to watch this. It's because I'm a shy person. It's like he's purposely being disobedient, but he was proving that our rights are being undervalued and that they're being taken away from us. That you shouldn't. And he tried it out because he found a guitarist who was playing, and he phoned the council to tell them that they were he was making a nuisance. The council never turned up because it was a person asking about another person, even though they're meant to serve us. But when TfL phoned them, telling them that he was talking when the emergency messages were coming on for the underground, which he was next to, they came for that, and they wanted to take his megaphone away, even though he went through the law with them and told them that he wasn't doing that. When the announcement came on, he stopped. There was another bit where he went to private property, and the police, they couldn't take him out because it was private property, but he was evicted from it, even though, like he was saying, what do you mean private property? How does someone ever gain a piece of land that was given to all of us? And there was another bit where he was questioning a policeman who was telling him, no, stop doing this, and he read out a law, and the policeman didn't even know it. And that's the truth. And it's like with anything, you can't know everything. And they're sending policemen out there who are arresting people, stopping people who don't even know the law. How can you not know the law before you're going out on the street, and a lay person, a normal citizen, can repeat back the law, and when they tell you the law, the policeman didn't enforce it because it was him telling him. He didn't believe him, obviously, but he didn't check. Same like in that judge. The judge knew the law was wrong but didn't want to challenge it because it was easy just to throw it out of court. And the last thing I was listening to was about, I've heard it before on YouTube, it was about this idea that the slave population brought to America from Africa may not have been the case, because now it was suggested that the indigenous people before Christopher Columbus were black, that they were the indigenous people there. And that does make sense because Africans and black Americans, they look different. They do look different. So they could be a completely different. So they're the original people. And obviously, the reason why they would lie and say that they would stole slaves from Africa, which may have been that may have happened as well, is to obviously make those people, the indigenous people that lived there, feel that they were not. It wasn't their country. Same as what they did with the Aboriginal people in Australia when they got there and they slaughtered them all. It's an interesting concept because obviously they found Egyptian artifacts in America pre-Christopher Columbus. They found skulls of Africans. Obviously all of us, well, isn't there two theories, isn't it? Some theory we come from Mesopotamia, from Iran, is it? And there's another one that says we all came from Africa and then we moved across. But the fact of the matter is that by the looks of it, the black person was the indigenous person in the United States of America, and they rewrote that. How many other truths are we going to learn? It just seems like we've been told so many lies. We're learning truth all the time. I wonder when we'll learn enough truth to do something about it. Anyway, take care, take it easy, God bless and peace.